gonna get off into it, man.
Let's out to it, bro.
All right, so look, episode 25.
25 lighters on my dresser.
Yes, sir. Hey, so episode 25. This episode is about avoiding toxic people. Real good episode. I think we all have our different definitions of toxic people and the way we deal with them. You know what I mean? So without further ado, man, it's Keep It Thorough Thursdays with a special Saturday edition. You know what I'm saying? So we coming at y'all on Saturday. But without further ado, man, it's your boy E Double coming at you live.
Yeah. What up, good people? Cedric Lavelle. And like E said, it's episode 25. 25 episodes in. We have progressed, come a long way. So, man, we excited about this episode.
Yeah, what's good with you, cuzzo?
Obviously, the topic of avoiding toxic people may make people feel a little, awkward because we might be talking about you. Nah, hopefully not. But nah, man, I'm feeling good about this one. I think, like you and I was talking about just the other day, man, just understanding who you're surrounding yourself with, you know what I'm saying, and the importance of that and recognizing certain behaviors and all that type of thing. So I think it's going to be good, man. It's going to be good.
Well, you know, they say, man, you the company you keep, right?
That's a fact.
So it's important to remove that negativity and toxicity out of your life. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so let's go and get into it, man. So first off the gate, safety first, man. So what that means, said what is a toxic person to you?
Hey, toxic person to me, man. I think some of the stuff that we actually put in this PowerPoint, pessimistic, energy drainers, bro. People who just drain your energy, just don't give you that fulfillment and don't give you that vigor and that things that make you feel good about yourself. People that don't support you, got their hand out, drama. You know what I'm saying? We deal with that often. Man, there's so many other things that you can really categorize with that. But man, that's basically what a toxic person is to me. But just to kind of simplify it, it's harmful. People who do harm to you, not physically. Sometimes it's mentally. Sometimes it's emotionally. Sometimes it's spiritually. It could be so many different ways. Sometimes financially. It's so many different ways that you can position that, but basically it's someone who brings harm to you in some shape, form, or fashion, right? And it's all about avoiding those types of people. You know what I mean? Like
or just impede on your process and on your progress in general, right? Just
exactly.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't even say necessarily they have to be harming. They could just be stagnating you. You know
right. Which I feel is harmful. You know
what I'm saying? Well, yeah, true. That's
you ain't allowing me to progress. That's hurting me. Like you holding me
back. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Exactly, bro. So that's basically how I look at that. And so like we said in the first part is keep a distance. You know what I'm saying? You want to keep your distance from those people, and obviously it can be anybody. It can be family, it can be friends, associates, co-workers, and many other things. But you definitely want to keep your distance from those particular types of people. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to get more into details on certain characteristics of it. But yeah, definitely want to keep your distance on that. How about you, man? What do you look at as far as like a toxic person? What do you see?
Well, yeah, and like you mentioned, we covered a little bit in the second little section, but yeah, everything that you said, I mirror what you said. Impeding on my progress, not being supportive.
Yeah.
Ones that always expect you to be in their corner, but they never really in your corner. You know what I'm saying? Those, just energy. I'm real big on energy. You know that. I believe in God, but I'm not a very religious person. But I'm all about energy and energy that people bring. You know what I mean? And
yeah, for sure.
When your energy is just bad, just negative vibes, always gossiping. You know what I mean? That's what a toxic person is to me. You know what I mean? Right. A non-productive negative person. If I had to define it, So you've been keeping your distance, right? So like, what does that mean specifically, right? To you when you talk about keeping your distance.
Yeah, so basically, we're keeping this. We all faced with the daily task of progressing towards better. And like we said, toxic people impede upon your progress, right? And so with keeping your distance, it's avoiding getting into contact with those who you know impede upon your progress. What's good, Trey?
Yeah, what's good with you, bro?
Impede upon your progress, slow you down, interfere with what it is that you're trying to do, your goals, your visions, what you wanted to do for your family, what you wanted to do for your friends, what you wanted to do for your community. Those particular types of people impede upon your progress, and they keep you to keep you at bay in many cases, you know, or they distract you and detour you and send you off into a different direction. So that's something that's a benefit there, but also what to know, but growth is part of each of our lives, and we are not here to stay the same, right? Along everyone's path, there's a gap that grows between who we become and how they remain, right? And as a result of protecting our place in our lives that we progress to, we're going to gain some ground, but we're going to lose some people. You know what I'm saying? Along the way, like the progress that we make, we're going to move forward, but it's going to be people that have to be left behind, right? They're not going to be able to get on the bus and move forward. They're going to have to get off at a stop, and, you know, we're going to have to proceed a different way. You feel me?
Yeah, no, and that's really that's a really hard thing, I guess, to acknowledge and deal with as you see different success and things in your life, right? Because I think the natural thing is you want to take everybody with you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like all your homeboys, everybody you grew up with, all your family, your cousins, you know what I'm saying? Just because you got that connection, you know? But the reality is everybody can't go.
Everybody can't go.
And I think the older we get, the wiser we become, the more we kind of are able to find our purpose, you know,
Right.
align our vision, and then you start to realize that. And it's not like you got to necessarily completely cut these people off, but you got to know how to deal with them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You gotta kind of know what to expect, and then move accordingly. You know what I'm saying? And then in certain instances, you do got to cut people off. You know what I'm saying? It's just the reality, and that whether friends or family. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
So anything else you want to touch on that one?
And what you and we can go to the next one. Well, like you just said, with cutting people off, I think a lot of times people hang on too long. You know what I'm saying? Like because you're so comfortable with somebody being in your space, or you just kind of grow accustomed to a certain type of people that you associate with. You hang
Routine,
on too long.
just whatever. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And as a result of that, you miss out, man. You miss out on opportunities. You miss out on different blessings. You miss out on different goals, different things that you can potentially be doing because you're holding on and you're not letting go. You know what I'm saying? And I always say this as well too when I'm talking with certain people. You got to release to receive. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to release people who mean you no good or don't align with what you're wanting to do in order to receive blessings, in order to receive the fruits of your labor, in order to receive positive relationships that could really benefit you and allow you to be successful in whatever space you wanted to get into, you know? So definitely want to understand, like, hey, when it's time to let go, you got to let go. You know what I'm saying? Especially if, like I said, if it doesn't align with your purpose. And I know you and I always talk about that as well, too. Like once you identify what your purpose statement is for your life, like you can easily identify people who don't belong in it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, oh yeah, they don't align with what I'm wanting to do. You know what I'm saying? So definitely got to focus on that aspect too.
Yeah, no, and my saying is I'm willing to help as long as it's not hurting me, right?
Right.
So like those in my life, not to say that I don't also get help, right? But I like to think that any of those that are providing me help in whatever regard, that it's a mutual situation where I'm also providing benefit back. But in
Right.
those situations where I'm helping someone else, I'm only willing to do that as long as it's not hurting
It's not
me.
hurting me. Yeah.
And then when it gets to a point where it starts to affect me negatively, then I gotta let it go. And there's
Right.
an image I seen, I wish I had it and could post it, where it like shows basically like a friend or a family member, something at the other end of the rope, and you like holding on to the rope, but it's like burning your hands, right? Messing your
Yeah.
hands up. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it
Yeah.
just goes to show like, okay, it's not hurting them. Like they're pulling you in a
Right.
direction and hurting you, and where
Yeah.
you just let
Yeah.
go.
Wow. Well, yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You
Like
gotta let that thing go.
you know what I mean? Exactly. But yeah, so all right, moving on to the next section, like warning signals. So obviously, the whole theme of this avoiding toxic people is kind of like safety, right? Like
Right.
safety first, like warning signals, like alerts. If y'all go check out the kit in the bio, y'all will be able to look at the avoiding toxic people kit and like see the signs and the imagery and all that. But so what we did is we listed 5 types of people to stay aware of, right? And I'm sure y'all are familiar with these type of people, right? So people that are always gossiping. So, people who always talking about other people, always in some drama, always negativity, never nothing positive. You know what I mean? They always talking about how to get back at such and such, or how such and such is that, you know what I mean? Just always in other people's business, and they got nothing to do with them. And literally just for the sake of talking about it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, stay away from that. There's no nothing productive or positive in those people, and being around it and continuing to be around it, you're just gonna be a part of it, and you're gonna become a gossiper too. You know what I mean? So the next is people that always had their hand out. And we all know these people, right? You don't really hear from them. You know what I mean? You don't really hear from them until they're in a bad situation and they need something.
Right. So they need something. Yeah.
Then when they need something, then it's, oh, what's up, cuz, or what's up, bro, or
I
what's,
ain't talked to you in a
whatever,
while,
whatever.
man. I just
I ain't
been
talked to
busy.
you in a while. Like, what's up, man? How you doing? How the family? You know what I mean? All that. You know what I mean? And then it's, all right, well, what you want, man? You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta, be mindful of them people too. You know what I mean? And it's cool to help people out, if they really need it, and and they're just in a bad situation. But what's negative isn't to enable people. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? People who, you know, aren't doing anything productive, aren't taking care of their business, and they know that if they do get in the jam, they could just call you because you're gonna bail them out, even though they're doing stuff they ain't got no business,
Right.
right?
You
Um,
handicap.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So be sure to be mindful of those people and not enable them, right? The next type of person is people that never support your goals, right? And this is very important. And I hear this a lot, right? So there's a difference between supporting a person versus actually liking what they do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So say for instance, said came out with, I don't know, and I'm gonna say something just random. So say for instance, said decided to open a bakery,
Yeah.
right? And
What type of
say
bakery is this? What am I making?
cakes and
Okay. I
cupcakes
like
and stuff,
cakes.
right? Right,
Now
all
let's
right,
do
right. So
cookies.
say
Cookies.
cookies, okay,
All right,
cakes,
we go
cookies,
there.
whatever, a bakery, right?
Yeah.
And say I don't personally like sweets,
Yeah.
right? Like, I'm not into sweets. So you could easily, like, I could easily be like, oh shit, I don't like sweets. So, like, I mean, I'm not gonna do that. But no, okay. My boy just opened up a bakery. Let me support him. You know what I
Right.
mean? I don't personally like sweet, which I do in real life, but this
Yeah.
fake. I don't I don't like sweets, right? But I'm gonna go buy some for my kids. I'm gonna go buy
Right.
some for, my son's birthday, or go take some up to the daycare or whatever. Like, I'm gonna support my boy. It's not something that I personally care for or like, but I'm gonna support my boy because he just opened up or whatever. And what I see way too often is people try to find excuses on why they don't support somebody because it's not what they like, right? Like, you
Right.
don't have to personally like it to support it. You
Right.
supporting the person and what it is they're doing, um, because you rock with them. You know
Right.
what I mean? And that's very important, right? Because if somebody really is in your corner and they rock with you and they support you, they're gonna find a way to support you, even if they don't necessarily, the end product isn't for them. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Because they rock with you.
Yeah.
So be
And
sure
then
to be mindful. Go
I
ahead and
was
say,
saying, in addition to that, not even from a monetary aspect, maybe you don't want to buy something. Maybe
right?
your finances is tight, whatever the case may be.
Post
You
it. That's
posting
free.
it, exactly.
Share
Posting
it.
is
That's
free.
free.
Sharing, word of mouth, engaging people about, hey man, my boy just opened up the bakery on such and such street, blah 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 blah. Go check them out. Good people, this, that, and the other. Even that,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? But
Free.
support can come in so many different forms. But like you said, bro, it doesn't always have to be a situation where it's like, oh well, I don't really like the sweets, so I ain't gonna really No, man. If you rock with that person and
It's
that's your
about you
people,
supporting them.
it's
You
and
know
it's
what I
like
mean?
with investing in companies. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times when investing in a company, you may not like specifically the product because it may not fit your lifestyle or what you do, but you may support that person and you believe in their vision and what they're doing and the purpose behind what they're doing, and you support that. You know what I'm saying? And so, like I said, bro, it doesn't have to be the money thing, but really just focusing on the person, who that person is, you know, and if you're aligning yourself with people who are like-minded, I don't see that you're going to be in a situation where it's like, oh yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. Like, what the
Yeah,
hell?
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And at the end of the day, that ain't really for that person to determine. Just
Right,
support your people. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Especially if it's for free, just a repost or whatever the case. But at the end of the day, you want to surround yourself with people who support your goals, and then in return, you should also be supporting them because y'all can help each other and push each other and drive each other to accomplish things. Right? You
exactly.
don't want to be around people who don't support you, or you know what I mean? Because then that can, depending on the person, right? Like I know, me and you said we're very strong-minded, strong-willed person. And if we believe in something, we're gonna attack it from every angle, regardless of what anybody say. But everybody's not built like
Damn
that.
right.
You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Everybody's not built like that. Like some people can, if they got people around them and it's not supporting them, they can start to doubt themselves. You know what
right.
I'm saying? And they may give up on something because of the lack of support,
Yeah,
which that's not me at all. I
I'm
do
gonna do it
my,
anyway.
my damn self. You know what I'm saying? I don't care.
We're
But
gonna
anyway,
figure it
that
out.
leads off into the next type of person, right? Like people that are always have a pessimistic view on things. You want to stay away from these people, man. And these are and now don't get me wrong, right? It's cool to have people in your corner who challenge you, who plays devil advocate. I do that with said sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I
Like,
hate it. I hate it every time you do it. I don't like it.
well, yeah, but it's good to have that. But now on the flip side of that, they should also support you, right? Like,
Yeah,
okay, yeah, like that's good. Now, when somebody only sees negative, right? That's like no matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, okay. Oh, well, that ain't gonna work because of boom,
yeah,
boom, boom. Oh, well, you can't do that. Nobody else did, or
right.
you know what I mean? Whatever the case it is, just always negative, always seeing
Limited
the
view.
negative in the situation. You know what I'm saying? Stay away from those people, man. Like, because it follows them. And I'm a firm believer in speaking things into existence. And when you're that negative all the time, and that's the type of energy you bring, then yeah, negative things are gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So like, remove yourself from those people, man. And like I said, now it's good to have balance. You don't
No,
want
for
yes
sure.
man. You definitely don't want yes man in your corner. But the
Right,
opposite of a yes man is a fucking no man. You know what I'm
right.
saying? A person who's always negative. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like you don't want that either. You want somebody who's honest.
right.
Which to me, that honesty will bring balance. You
And
know what I'm
then
saying?
somebody who's honest, but also can offer something with that honesty. Hey, man, I don't know about this, but have you ever considered
Well,
X? You
exactly.
know what I'm
Like
saying?
alternatives, right?
Alternatives. That's the word. Yeah, yeah.
Not just saying, oh, it's not gonna work. Like, okay, that might not work, bro, because of X, Y, Z. But have you thought about this? That's not
Right.
being pessimistic to me, though. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's being
That's
realistic.
being supportive
Actually,
and
support.
being
Yeah,
constructive.
exactly. There you go. Constructive. That's the probably the best word to use for that. But yeah, and then the next is people that always want to be in control, which to me this kind of basically is like not being open to varying opinions, right?
Right.
Like it's like my way or the highway type thing, you know?
Yeah.
And
Closed
like
minded.
you said, what?
Closed minded.
Yeah, very close-minded people. And you want to stay away from them because we all can learn from each other, period, point blank. The CEO of the company can learn from you know, the frontline workers. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like we all can learn from each other. So you have to keep like an open mind and be willing to learn from everybody and take feedback. Now, what you choose to do with it is completely up to you, but keep your ears open, right? And hear whatever, you know, what people were saying and, you know, do with it as you will. But don't think that you know it all. Cause
Right.
don't nobody know it all. You know what I'm saying? Like some people may have a little bit more experience in a particular area, but then that other person may have more experience in another different area. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like you got to be open um and be mindful and not closed-minded. So stay away from those people who always want to control everything, very closed-minded, not open-minded, not willing to make adjustments, want to make changes, you know what I mean? And that's one of the most important things when it comes to not only business, but I think just in life in general is being able to pivot
Right.
and you know, make adjustments when necessary.
Precisely.
So yeah, so now what's the impact of staying away from these people, right? Or being able to properly identify these people. When you know what to expect, you know how to prepare. Take note of those who repeatedly shift your feelings and your actions in negative ways. And this just goes back like um it's not hard to be able to spot a person who gossips all the time, right? Every time you get around them, hey, have you heard such and such? You heard about you know, such and such is doing dating such, you know what I mean? It's not hard to identify those people. And it's one of
Yeah.
those, you know, like, all right, well, hey, you know, I got somewhere to be, you know what I mean? I'll holler at you in a
I'm
minute. You
holler
know
at
what I
you
mean?
later.
Just yeah, right. Just remove yourself from them situations. You know what I mean? Because you know what to expect, yeah, in them situations. And the same with every other um type of person we listed here. You know what I mean? Like the people that don't support your goal. If you know you didn't did XYZ, or say for instance, you open that bakery and now it's doing successful, and now you about to open up two others. Okay, don't even waste your time going to talk to this person about these other ones that you're getting ready to open. Which the irony in that, right, is that person who um don't like
Didn't
the
believe.
sweets
Yeah.
down the road, once you open it up to two or three third
Right.
bakery, now all of a sudden
They come back around.
right now they might
Oh
want a
man, you
cookie.
doing
You know what
so
I'm
well.
saying? Right. You know what I mean? Like so, but don't even waste your time on them individuals. You know what I'm saying? Spend your time on those who do support you, and you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
you know what to expect already. Anything you want to add, Sid?
Nah, that was it, bro. That was all those particular 5 things, 5 types, and obviously there's probably more that
Oh yeah,
you could
absolutely.
probably name as well too. But those particular 5 types can, yeah, definitely need to be aware of those for sure.
All right, cool. So risk prevention. I'll go ahead and let you take it away.
Yeah. Risk prevention. This is gonna be the last slide. So obviously, as you know the definition, know what toxic people are, as you proceed to identifying these types of people, there are some specific things that you want to do to help prevent yourself from being at risk, from being in a situation to where certain things can escalate more than what they need to be, right? And so we got 4 different things that you can do for risk prevention. I'm gonna do the first 2, and I'm gonna let E do the last 2. But on the first one is going to be remove your feelings, right? And so taking the emotions out of unhealthy situations that offer unneeded stress, right? And so I feel like a lot of times people invest too much into situations that give you stress, right? It's like trying to beat a dead horse. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times when you get yourself into a situation and you keep pouring into the situation, and you continuously do it, and your feelings are getting involved, your emotions are all out of whack, that's an unhealthy situation, right? Especially when you're dealing with a person that you see no progress with, that you see no changes in, that you see nothing of potential uh, benefit for you. It's wasted time and wasted energy, right? And so you have to remove your feelings from those types of situations and from those types of relationships, because like we were saying in the beginning, when helping you is hurting me, I gotta let go. You know what I'm saying? I'm not seeing anything that's fruitful from this relationship. All I'm getting is stress. I'm getting headaches. My health is bad. You know what I'm saying? And so you don't want those types of things to be harboring you and holding you back. So you definitely want to remove your feelings. And once you remove your feelings from the situation, then you can remove that person from your space, right? Because I feel like a lot of times people hold on because their feelings are still involved. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't let this person go because of this, that, and the other. But once you work on their feelings and you remove your feelings, then you can get that person out your space, right?
Yeah.
And then the next one is going to be identify your triggers. So know what provokes you and be aware when you're engaging with certain people. And so your triggers. A lot of people have different triggers. A lot of people have different things that affect them, that impact them, that make them upset or make them angry or make them respond in a certain way. And so when you're able to identify your triggers, you know what specifically you can do to avoid those types of situations. If you know when you're dealing with somebody that they typically say things that attack your character or attack your spirituality or attack your family or attack your physical features, right? And you know that those particular things always make you respond in a way that's aggressive, or if they make you sad, or if they make you get emotional, you can disarm that person, right? Because now when you're engaging with that individual, it's like, okay, I know you're going to do X, Y, and Z. You ain't changed. You've been doing the same thing for years. So I know if I say this, you're going to say this. I've identified that when this happens, this is how it makes me feel. So now that I know this, and I'm going into this situation knowing that this is how you respond and this is what you say, I'm disarming you. Like I'm not about to be affected by what you're saying and what you're doing, because I've already identified within myself what triggers me, what upsets me, what what prohibits me from doing whatever it is that I want to do as it relates to being in a conversation with you, right? And so identifying the triggers will definitely help prevent risk of getting yourself into a situation with someone who's toxic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. All right, and then so the next one, secure your peace. Come to an agreement with yourself to not allow others' actions to affect your condition. So basically, you have to know, you have to kind of be like one with yourself, right? Like you have to be at peace with yourself to the point where you don't let others affect you. Like I've had conversations with people before where people say things like you made me feel away, or like you made me angry, or you did, like nobody can affect your emotions but you, right? Like you are in control of your emotions. So if someone does something to you, right, that affects your peace, right, that's because you allowed them to, right?
Right.
Like you're the one in control. So come to an agreement with yourself to not allow others to affect your condition. So like, and when I think of condition, I think of your well-being, your mind state, your mental,
Right.
your peace. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And you can't let, like for instance, a lack of support, right? Don't let a lack of support bother you, or don't let a person's negativity or negative outlook come down on you. That's why it's important, which the whole point of this episode is removing them toxic people, because the reality is, if you keep those people in your life long enough and you don't remove them, over time energy transfers, man, whether you want it to or not, and it will eventually start to weigh on you and negatively affect you. But you have to do everything in your power not to let it affect you. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day,
Okay.
you are in charge of that. So so if you keep those toxic people around you, that was a decision you made, which then will negatively affect you. That's still you were in control of that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Now, if you remove them, out of your life, then you secure your peace, right? And then you're in a much better position where they're not negatively affecting you, and you're surrounding yourself around those who are positive and feed, positivity back into you. So secure your
Exactly.
peace, very, very important. And then keep your composure. So make exercise and self-control a daily practice that you're willing to commit to. And self-control, right? So like, what is that? Like holding yourself accountable.
Mm-hmm.
So really, with like keeping your composure. So don't, which feeds back into the other one, don't get out of body or out of mind because you feel say someone is very negative about something that you got going on, and it makes you may feel disrespected. You know what I'm saying? You may feel like, well, who the hell are you? You know what I mean? Like, who are you to
Right.
make, what I mean, whatever. At the end of the day, keep your composure. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, don't let that negative person's outlook or viewpoint on you affect the
Get
way
you
you
acting out of
move, in
character.
the way you move. You know what I mean? And that comes down to like the self-control. And yeah, it's a daily practice. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we're all human. We're
Right.
all human, and we all can only take so much. You know what I mean? So like, that's why it's important to kind of know your limits. You know what I mean? Know what you're willing to tolerate, you know, and then act accordingly, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, this person been wilding out. This person, like, man, this ain't what I want. I know if this keeps going on, it's gonna get to a point that I'm not cool with, and I'm gonna act out of body. So like, I need to, cut ties with this person. You know what I mean? I need to
Right.
move forward and focus on, what's working for me. So yeah, so securing your peace and keeping your composure, they're two kind of similar to a certain extent, but then there's also differences. But both very, very, very important.
Yeah, yeah.
Anything else? Anything you wanted to add on what I'm saying?
Man, that was it, bro. Secure your peace and keep your composure. You know what I'm saying?
But
Like you
I'll
said,
let
like,
you take the final thoughts,
oh
and
yeah,
then I
for
kind
sure.
of wrap it out.
Like you just said though, you don't want to get in a situation where uh, someone gets you to acting out of character. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times too, people get into situations when they're dealing with individuals who aren't very positive, or who don't support, or who don't align with their purpose. And what ends up happening in many of those situations, it's like, you get to acting out of character when they respond or when they do things in a way that doesn't fit with how you move and what you do. You know what I'm saying? And it's almost like you can go like to that Will Smith
Yeah,
ordeal.
right,
You
right.
know what I'm
Way out of
saying?
character. That was not. And look what it cost them.
Exactly. And I heard a lot, and now everybody has their take on it and their own opinion, but a lot of people who I've talked to was like, man, like that was way out of character. Like that doesn't seem like Will Smith. Will Smith barely even curses. Like that's odd. Like why would he respond in that way? Or what would make him feel that as if that was justified, or he had to prove something, right? Now I'm not gonna say that it was Jada Pinkett and she's toxic, and
I
I ain't gonna put
will.
that out
I
there.
will. I
Okay, well
say.
you can, but it's that type of situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's a
no,
real
1,000%.
real life situation right there. It's like, bro, you didn't keep your composure in that. Like whatever you're dealing with or whoever you're around is causing you to act totally out of character. You know what I'm saying? And again, this can go back to the removing your feelings. When your feelings are involved so deeply, right? It's like I don't know how to respond because I'm so into this person, or I don't know how to bro, it's like relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're dealing with a spouse, or you're dealing with a boyfriend or a girlfriend or something like that. And it's like I'm so into this individual, they mean me no good, but they make me feel, it's the one of those weird
Well,
type
see,
of situations. You know what I'm
it's that
saying?
emotional connection, and I feel like when there's too many emotions involved, then you don't think logically, and you don't make
Right.
logical decisions. You know what I mean? And like in that situation with Will Smith, right? That was out of emotion. That wasn't a logical decision. If he would have really like thought that through, like he knew that wasn't the right thing to do. And
Yeah.
honestly, I feel like a lot of people who even supported him initially,
In hindsight, they looking
now
back.
looking back at it and how Jada responded, you know what I mean? They're like, okay, like
Yeah, you start putting things pieces together. Like, okay, yeah, I don't think
right,
the same way that I
you
did
know,
in the beginning.
and like we not gossiping. I'm not E News. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm not about to get into they personal situation, but what we all can agree on is the way he acted in that situation was completely out of character from what we've come
Based
to
on what we
expect.
see in the public view.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
exactly.
know what I'm
From
saying?
from from Will Smith though. So
Yeah,
so for sure. Uh,
exactly. So now I'll take the final thoughts. So final thoughts. It's priority to stay out of harm's way, right? To experience the life we know that we deserve. It's vital to evaluate the people that we allow to remain in it. And it goes back to one thing that I said, you got to release to receive. And it goes back to what he said earlier, when helping you is harming me, got to let go. You know what I'm saying? And we all want to, like I said in the beginning, we all want to progress towards better. We all want to experience life in a fulfilled way. Uh, we are not meant to stay the same. We are meant to grow. We are meant to change. We are meant to challenge one another in a constructive way. But we also have to recognize that everybody is not going to be on that same stratosphere.
which everybody's mind ain't open to growth. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Everybody isn't, like
It's a fixed
like when they
mindset.
say you got to be willing to receive your blessings. You know what I mean? Like a
Yeah.
lot a lot of people are like closed off. Or to go back to the previous section where we talked about wanting to always be in control, right? Like, well, you can't always be in control and be willing to receive your blessings because you're not
Right.
gonna
It
be in
don't work like
control in
that.
a lot of them certain situations when
Yeah.
that blessing arrives. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be in a vulnerable place, and wanting to always be in control ain't putting you in a vulnerable position. You know what I mean? So you got to be able to open your mind, open your heart. You know what I'm saying, and really be willing you know, be open to new information and try new things and all of them type of things. You know what I mean? You got to be open to it.
Yeah,
At
that's a
the end of
fact,
the day.
bro. Absolutely.
But all right, so did you have anything else you wanted to add, Sid?
That was it, bro. I think that that sums up everything. You know what I'm saying, with avoiding toxic people and just some tidbits of information. Obviously, like you said in the beginning, the kit for avoiding toxic people is going to be in the bio. Definitely look at this particular kit. Definitely offer some in-depth information, content, concepts. Like he said in the beginning, the imagery and everything can kind of, you know, allow you to visualize it more and interpret it a little bit differently. And also look at the first 24, you know, and see the progress that we've made along our journey and along our way to get to this point. And it's just going to keep getting bigger, keep getting better. He says it all the time. We got a lot of different things in the works that we're creating and really just focusing on the impact. You know, and I feel like with you and I both, like we focus on impact, the brand, what it looks like, what it sounds like, you know, and wanted to make certain that we do right, not just by ourselves, but for the reflection of our family and the people that we support, you know what I'm saying, and the people that's going to support us. So you guys, we appreciate everybody who tunes in, you know, whether it's on a Thursday or a Friday, on a Tuesday, today on a
Yeah,
Saturday.
hit y'all with a special Saturday episode, and I'm sure y'all probably can hear it in my voice. I was sick, man. Had to recover. Your boy was under the weather a little bit. I'm feeling a lot better now though. But yeah, we appreciate y'all big time, man. Everybody who watches live, those that tune in and watch the episodes, like we see the view count on the episodes, you know, like after the fact. So with all that said, again, Cedric mentioned it, kit in the bio, a lot of stuff coming on. And then be sure to check out the recommendations. It's a book in there. Toxic people, or is yeah,
It's actually a site.
a thorough read. It's a
Yeah,
website. Toxic people, how to recognize and how to avoid them.
good
Um,
read.
but with all that said, man, if you don't do nothing else, keep it thorough,
Keep
and
it
we'll holler
thorough.
at y'all next time, man.
No
Deuces.
doubt.